What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at the Green Digimon from Union Impact that we've not had a look at yet. The full set list is out now. There are a few green that we've not had a chance to look at. I feel a little bit bad about this, so I figured we should probably start. And let's start with a really weird one. Auroramon, or something along those lines. It is a level 3 with the jankiest stat line of any level 3 we've seen so far. And no, I don't think that is exaggeration or hyperbole. What we've got here is a 2 cost to play normally, which is lower than average, that's good. A 2 cost to evolve, which is frankly ridiculous. I don't believe, and please do correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong about this, but I don't believe we've seen a 2 cost to evolve level 3 yet, because a 2 cost to evolve level 3 is dumb. Now, I've made the point many times before, if you go first, you start with 0 memory, the first thing you do that costs memory passes a turn to your opponent, you don't want to pay to evolve a level 3. You certainly don't want to pay 2 to evolve a level 3. No. No. But it's got 5,000 power. And 5,000 power is dumb for a level 3. We talk about cards that reduce power by 4,000. I don't know, Rapidmon from the starter deck, that'll do. And we basically go, and I do it in the videos, I say, well, you know, 4,000 power, that will basically delete any level 3 Digimon. Not this, dude! Do not ever evolve into this unless you are full-on proper job desperate. That's a very bad idea. But it's a 2 cost to play normally, 5,000 power. That is a stat line that we can do stuff with that stat line. That is going to give you an advantage. Like, other level 3s will tremble before this one. Nice. There we go. Now, speaking of vanilla level 3s, we've got Kunamon here. And we've got a 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to evolve, 4,000 power. So the play cost of 3 is standard. That's what we expect. The evolution cost of 0 is standard, that's what we expect. The 4,000 power, for what it's worth, is high. 4,000 power is higher than your average level 3, which is nice, I suppose. And certainly, we didn't have a level 3 of this level of beef before. So, if you want a nice beefy 3 to evolve level 3, it'll do. Does the trick. There's nothing hideously special about it, if I'm honest with you, but it's free to evolve and it's got a bit more power than average, so, I don't know, yay. Now, far more interesting as we move into level 4s, Dokugamon. Dokugamon? Something like that. It's basically a spider. And we've got a 6 cost to play normally, and 6 cost to play normally for a level 4 is honestly on the higher end. We've got a 2 cost to evolve, which is what we see from the vast majority of level 4s. And we've got 5,000 power, which for a level 4 is not terrible. It's alright. We've seen higher, but we've seen lower. It's fine. But it's got a skill. It's a play skill. When you play it, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add a level 5 or 6 Digimon card among them. Doesn't have to be green. Any will do. And then discard the remaining cards. Now, it's interesting that you discard the remaining cards. Most of these skills make you put them on the bottom of your deck. Not that there's a huge difference, but it does mean you'll deck out a little bit faster, which could be bad. We don't have ways to get cards off the bottom of our deck, so most of the time, once they hit the bottom, they're basically gone for the game anyway. But certainly this will deck you out a little faster. But the fact of the matter is, this ain't too bad. This is cool. It is a play skill, not an evolution skill, remember, so you've got to pay the 6 cost to play it normally in order to activate this. That is very important to note. If you don't do that, you won't get the benefit of it. And it's adding consistency, and this is the kind of thing that green decks do, right? This is not the first time we've seen a green Digimon with this kind of skill to help you get up and rolling earlier in the game. It's the kind of thing that green decks have become accustomed to. So, the Tyrannomon from Ultimate Power, for instance. When you Digivolve, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a level 5 Digimon and a green Tamer to your hand, and put the rest of them on the bottom of your deck in any order. It's the kind of thing we've seen with green decks before, it's the kind of thing we're going to see from green decks again, and it's just green decks doing what they do. There are going to be ways in the not too distant future, if there aren't already, to play significantly more consistent green decks than others, because we've got some cheaper evolution. We got that download skill that lets you rest a Digimon to evolve more cheaply, and some that are just generally cheaper. And then we've also got skills like this to give you a bit of extra consistency. This is good. There are going to be those super awkward games where you reveal 3 cards you really want and you've got to trash 2 of them. No one likes those games. Those games are going to make us sad. But outside of that, this is cool. We like this. Now, Jowelbeamon is another level 5, but in fact, we've got 3 more level 5s to talk about. But I'll be honest with you, this one is a little bit vanilla. 7 cost to play normally, 3 cost to evolve, 10,000 power. And again, this is one where you should look at the stat line and go, hang on a second. That one looks just a little bit familiar. It's Auroramon. It is a green version of Auroramon. And you know what? This is a good card. The thing is, when we look at this, we can go, well, it's a green version of Auroramon. And we know that Auroramon is good. We've seen Auroramon see a load of play. So we can say with some certainty that Jowelbeamon is a good option. 3 cost to evolve is standard for a level 5. And 7 cost to play normally is not particularly cheap, if I'm honest with you. It's not a cheap Digimon. It's not terribly expensive, but it's not cheap. But the fact of the matter is, it is powerful. And, okay, fine, 7 cost for a level 5 might not be amazing, but there's a bunch of level 6s out there with 10,000 power, and you ain't getting them for a 7 cost. So that's what this does. That's what Jowelbeamon does. That is a niche that it fills. It is a very powerful, not terribly expensive level 5 Digimon, and this is going to be able to take out some resting level 6s. This is going to be able to attack the security and have almost the same expectation of surviving that level 6s are going to have. And indeed, the same as some of them. It's cool. It's not going to give you any extra skills and no inheritable skill. It doesn't do anything else. But if you want a Digimon that is going to give you a lot of power for a comparatively low cost, Jowelbeamon has absolutely got your back here. Now, Blossomon has got the same cost of 7, the same evolution cost of 3. That's not great. It's not terrible, it's not great. But it's got 7,000 power. It's significantly weaker. Boo! But it does have download free. Although it's called Digisorption, but this is not the official kind of translations that we're seeing on the English cards. We'll have to wait and see what it comes out as. We've been calling it download up to now, so we're going to keep it with download for now. Which means that when you Digivolve into it, you may rest one of your Digimon and reduce the cost of Digivolution by 3. So now all of a sudden, we've got a Digimon which is free to evolve. Well, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but getting a level 5 evolved and not having to pay for it is a very cool thing. Now, it must be borne in mind, we have already seen this. The entire Argomon line from Ultimate Power does have download, so we've seen that the level 5 Argomon does have this. It's got a free cost to evolve. Well, it is a free cost to evolve, and it's got download -3. Now, it's an 8 cost to play normally 6,000 power, rather than a 7 cost to play normally 7,000 power, so worse on both counts. But it's also got an inheritable skill whereby when you attack, you can play a level 3 green Digimon from your hand without paying its cost. And for that reason, I don't think I am ever going to play Blossomon in a deck. Unless we hit a situation where this has somehow rotated but Argomon hasn't. But given that the first 3 sets in Japan are equal to the first 2 sets outside, I do not see any situation where if we get rotation in the future, and we've not been told about that incidentally, but if we do, the first 3 sets are going to rotate out together. I don't see the point of Blossomon. Oh, it's slightly cheaper to play normally, but you're not going to play it normally because you can evolve it for free, and that's the only good thing about it. Oh, it's got an extra 1,000 power on top of Argomon. Yeah, but no one cares because we will happily give up the 1,000 power so that we can play free Digimon. Now, there is one important thing I've not mentioned yet. What if you're already playing 4 Argomon? And that is a situation in which I'm cool with Blossomon. If you want more than 4 level 5s that give download free and essentially allow you to evolve for free, do it. That I am cool with. If that's what you're doing, go for it. But frankly, I do not see, I was going to say a compelling reason, but frankly, I don't see any reason whatsoever to actually play this until I've got a full 4 copies of Argomon level 5 in my deck. Although while we're talking about download, I must mention Auroramon here that has got the skill whereby when you use download once during your turn, you may actually rest your opponent's Digimon rather than your own, which is hilarious. So definitely you want to play Auroramon in a deck where you're playing something like this. Don't like Blossomon except as a contingency when I'm already playing 4 Agumon. Agumon? Argomon? Agumon's a cute little one. I'm talking Argomon. And finally, one more level 5, we've got Rapidmon. And he is pretty rapid in his defense. He's living up to the name. 6 cost to play normally for a level 5 is pretty gosh darn cheap. There weren't any green level 5s in Ultimate Power that evolved for 2. So that was quite nice. Were there any in New Evolution? Again, we're ignoring download here because that's not really particularly fair. There was, actually. There's a Mega Kabuterimon that did. But still, you know, few and far. And there was an okay, there were a couple, to be fair. But that's not the point. It's still cheap to evolve. And to be fair, this is cheaper to play than the other 2. So it's still the cheapest level 5 green we've seen so far. So I'm counting it, ladies and gentlemen. 6,000 power is low for a level 5. No way around it. But it's got a good inheritable skill, so we're fine. And the inheritable skill says that on your turn, this card gains 1,000 power for each of your opponent's resting Digimon. Although it seems like the actual term is going to be suspend, so it would be for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. And this might start looking a little bit familiar here, because we've already seen the Gargomon from the set, that for each of your opponent's rested Digimon, you get an extra 1,000 power. Okay, so now you can play this with that, and for each of your opponent's rested Digimon, you get an extra 2,000 power. Worth pointing out that Kabuterimon did have the exact same skill as Gargomon, but Gargomon and Kabuterimon are both level 4 Digimon, so you can't really play them together because you're very much choosing between them. But the point is very simply that this is a level 5, which means it can be played in addition to the other ones, which means you're gaining an extra 2,000 power every time your opponent has a rested Digimon. And that could be a Digimon that is rested because your opponent attacked with it last turn. Or it could be a Digimon that is rested because your opponent blocked this turn. Or it could be that you've used Flower Cannon or one of the other many ways that Green has got to rest your opponent's Digimon. And Green have not been the most powerful Digimon since they came out. That has not been their MO. But the good news is that now you don't need to care about that, because you could potentially be gaining 2,000 power for every one of your opponent's resting Digimon, and that is kind of redonkulous. I think there is a lot of potential here to play a deck that has a bunch of resting cards, having, you know, your Gargomon and this coming out as well, and then basically going to your opponent, because actually you've not got very much going on here, and I've got super powerful Digimon, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself, to be frank. And that's a good thing. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of green Digimon we needed to talk about. I think we got through 6 in this video. But like I've said, there's lots out. There's lots to talk about. And we need to get through them because, well, hopefully you guys are coming here to learn all about the new Digimon cards and what they do and how you can use them. And if I didn't share them all with you, I would feel frankly rude. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know what you think about all of these now. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.